what it is. I
Okay.
don't actually know what I want
Okay.
because I don't think it's a potential relationship, but it's like a bond. I don't want to call it soulmate or twin flame, anything. It's just that we can't stay away, even though it has been 9 years. It's like, and it's not physical or anything. It's not only that, but like much more. But now he's in a situation wherein he's in love with his ex, and I met him in a state like that, so history repeats itself. But there's like a connection, which I don't know what it is. And we just had a conversation like a few days ago, and I'm like, okay, so, which I'm okay with if it's like a platonic friendship with some intimacy. I'm okay with that. But he's telling me, no, it's not that, it's not romantic, blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, then what is it? He's like, yeah, you know what it's not, so do you want a label? I'm like, nah, it's not about the label. It's not like I want a relationship. I just want to know, like, what am I doing, can I explore further? What are my boundaries? Like, I don't want to do things which would break the connection by accident because he's not clear. Like, if I told him, I can leave you, like, go get her. I can help you get her. If you want, I'll sit on the table, tell her he loves you so much. Just give him a chance. But he's like, okay, but how would we know that? Blah, blah, blah. And he also says that we won't end up, like, I don't know what the fuck it is that's my problem. And I'm like, I really love this guy, so I don't know what to do. I can let him go. I've let him go a few times, like 4 or 5 times. 3 years ago, he wanted to try with me, but I got avoidant and I left him. Like, I ghosted him because I was reading some signs, like, wrong. He posted something on Instagram, like, calling the universe to ask for it not to send me any more lessons. And I was like, oh, I am the lesson. Oh, I did something wrong. I was like, I'm kind of a fearful avoidant. So I ruined everything, I think, but like, he's also responsible for not communicating about it. I'm like, I want to let it go, but I'm like, I tried to leave a few times, and then I'm scared that I will be thinking of what will happen if I did stay. So this time I want to stay to see, like, yo, I did everything I could. If it ends, it's forever this time.
Okay.
Just like to break the pattern, I think.
All right. You're all over the place, love. That wasn't a coherent thought.
I know. That's the
Okay.
That's the
All right. So I'm
frustration.
gonna ask you some questions so we can kind of piece things together. Okay. So how did you meet this person?
Like, through Instagram, it was like, it was not serious or anything. So, but after a few times of meeting, I fell in love. But he was in love with his ex. That's okay. I knew everything. We were like friends. We could have talked about everything. But I was like, I can't take this anymore because I love you too much. I'm gonna not see you anymore.
Right.
Then I met 1.5 years later. I met my ex. 5 years, it was good, but he didn't have the masculinity I needed, so I left. But during that stage, we were always like, how are you doing? Is everything good? We can talk about literally anything. So there's like, it's really a friendship. I'm starting to think, is it a soulmate? Because you don't have to end up with a soulmate, like, your neighbor could be your soulmate, your teacher could be your soulmate. I don't know.
So what is your goal here?
If you'd ask me in like a fairy tale situation, I'd want to marry him.
Okay.
But it's not. So it's not like I want it right now because it's not the situation, It's not the fairy tale. We're living in real life. So right now, as long as a man doesn't really invest in me, I don't even want a relationship from him. So I don't even want, like, commitment now. But I want to know that if we're building something, because
What do you mean? Okay, let's just try to answer the question that I'm asking. So what do you mean by investing in you?
for me, it's you can't go without neither, sorry. Okay, how do I explain this? For me to want commitment, I don't only need the soul connection, like the hearing each other, seeing each other, like, to be understood, to be heard, to be seen, to be vulnerable, to be transparent. I also need a man who takes the lead, who wants to plan, who wants to date, who wants to spoil me. Like I can't have one and not the other. Both ways. So I was like, if so, we're opening up vulnerably, like a different level now. He
Okay.
wants to explore that, and I'm like, okay, but if you want her back, then what are we doing now? Because I can leave you. I can
Okay.
leave you
Okay.
alone.
You got to stop like rambling because I'm losing the thread of the conversation. So how do you know that he wants his ex or was still in love with his ex?
We speak about that.
Okay. And what did he say?
He said, I was like, yeah, your last connection, it was never official for them. She left him because he didn't want commitment too. He's like the biggest avoidant I've ever seen or heard about in my life. So he lost that, and now he wants to communicate that he loves her. But for her, it's too late. And she left him out 2 or 3 times already in a span of 3 years. I've never stayed that long.
Okay.
I only
We're about to
stayed
ramble.
my.
We're about to ramble
Sorry,
again.
sorry.
Okay. So, and your goal here is what? To be in a relationship with this person? I'm asking you what your goal is because that's the only way I can answer your question. Because you don't really have a question yet. You're just kind of like talking. So, what do you want clarity around in this situation?
What we're building, because he wants to keep on building, but like what is it then?
You're not
I
building.
want to know.
You're not building anything.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying, and I'm like, I can leave, and I don't understand either. So I was like, wait,
How old are you two?
I'm 30, he's 37.
Okay. So like just generally outside of him, do you foresee yourself being in a relationship or being married or something like that?
In a situation where he'd invest in me,
No, I
yes.
mean in general, not even like including him.
Right now,
Just in general. Is that something
in
that you
general,
see for your life that you would desire?
right now, as if like if the bond is this,
I'm not
if
asking
he,
about this guy at all. I'm just saying, like some women know they want to be married and they just haven't met the man they want to marry yet, but they know that they want to be married. Some people know they want to be in a relationship, even if
I
there's
would marry if I meet the right man.
okay.
Yeah,
And what is the right man? Describe him.
someone who like it's the cliche, I guess. It's the provider, but like not too traditional.
Okay.
It's the soft. It's like masculine, but he's not afraid to show his soft side, like caring.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So you want the top 1%. Sounds like. Okay. So how long was your longest relationship?
5 years.
5 years. How long ago did that end?
3 years ago.
Why did it end?
He was a good man, but not my man. He was too. He couldn't stand up for himself, and I lost respect during the relationship. I thought I'm more assertive. I can teach him things, but it's like the situation whereas you're 21, you think you can heal someone. It's not like that.
Okay. Okay. That's fair. So you want clarity around like whether or not things will work with this guy.
Yeah, I want an open ending, you know? Because, like, for now, he's like, yeah, we're not going to end up together because I'm in love with her and I don't want to promise you anything I can't. And I get that, but I'm like, okay, but seriously, you're happy about us being vulnerable now more, like, on a deeper level. So what are we building then? Like, if you want her, what am I doing with you?
You're overcomplicating it. You're overcomplicating it.
Really?
Yes. This is simply just not going to work. You just describe the person as the most avoidant person ever. Okay, well
Yeah,
guess who you can't be with? The most avoidant person ever.
fair enough.
Right? Like you can't be with you can't it's hard to be with an avoidant period. And you're talking about the most avoidant person ever. Yeah, it's not gonna work. So what are we doing?
It's already
You
a
said
losing
you
game.
said that you let go of him multiple times. That's not what the word letting go means. You haven't let go of him at all.
Fair
You
enough.
took breaks. So
Fair
now it's
enough.
time to actually let go because if you do want to be with someone, the longer you entertain this person, the more you're going to delay meeting the person that you want to have. And you can't afford to delay that because you're describing a highly developed man who has immense optionality when it comes to women.
Fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. And I
So
think I've thought of this, but I'm like, it's already hard for me to let go. And if I'm saying like I'm seriously willing to let go, but if he first time ever, if he asks me to say, it makes it harder.
I got you. I'm sure it makes it harder, but you also have to factor in, why do you even want this person to begin with? The people who we try to be with or who we end up with are a reflection of us.
Mm-hmm.
So there's something going on with you. It sounds like you're being activated, right? What I mean by that is, when you're dealing with someone who's creating open loops, who's sending mixed signals, hot and cold, it makes you invest more into the situation, right? Because you feel anxious about it. So like you invest more into the dynamic, trying to get clarity. In the process of trying to get clarity, you become more emotionally invested. So this fact that you never do get clarity on this situation causes you to want to stick around until that clarity, until you close that loop.
Because it's like an open ending.
Right. And this loop is never going to close.
Fair enough.
This loop is never going to close. He's going to always like obsess over this other woman and then keep you where you are, because what you are basically reinforcing is that if he wants you, he can always have you. So why should I ever get my act together to be with you if I can just like hit you up and then get you
Fair
back?
enough. The time he was with her, he wanted to see me because I was done with someone. And I was like, but this is the first time ever you're really enthusiastic about someone. So you're not going to see me. I don't want you to ruin this. He was like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Very sad about it. I'm like, no, I'm literally protecting you from you. And then now it's like, yeah, it's not like you're the second option. You didn't want to see me because I was seeing her. So now I'm not seeing her and I'm seeing you. It's weird because he's also happy about me not speaking with my ex anymore, even if it's friendly. But I'm like, you're right. I need to cut this off for you.
Yep. Yep. And
Yeah.
also
That's
understand
true.
that you might have this tendency to want to change the men that you're dealing with, right? You said with your ex,
Yeah,
you were
it's
trying to
the
mold him.
brokenness that wants me to be there for another because it might be what I need.
Yeah, you might be drawn to people who you have to kind of change. There's a lot to unpack here, love, but you definitely got to unpack it, because when you say that you're 30 and then you're describing like, like I said, the cream of the crop when it comes to men, time is down on your side. So like, if you want to maximize your odds of getting a man like that, you have to cut distractions vigorously. And this person is a huge distraction.
Fair enough. Thank you.
No problem, love. Best luck to you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Right. Who else do we have? Why does this person keep requesting? Let me just see if she can come up. Okay. Also, people, if you have a question pertaining to dating and relationships, you can hit the button at the bottom of the screen with the blue and pink person, request up, and I'll solve your issue. Okay? Time is running out at 30. It's not running out in general. It's running out for the type of man who she wants, Heather. So it's not like, oh, if you're a woman in your 30, you can't get a man. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, she just described a very rare person who has a lot of contradictory qualities. When you're describing a very dynamic person like that, man or woman, by the way, who's like, oh, she's feminine, but she's also direct. She's intelligent, but she's also very nurturing and soft. She's beautiful, but she doesn't really care about her looks like that. Like, that's a very dynamic person. That's a rare person. So she's describing a man like that who's extremely rare. So he's going to be extremely desirable. Time is ticking. You got to lock someone like that down when you're at your prime. It's likely not going to happen beyond it. What's up, Tay? Again, if you want to come up and have your problem solved, just hit the button at the bottom of the screen with the blue and pink person. I'll bring you up and solve your issue. You can also drop your question in the chat. I will answer it there. Just be advised that callers get first priority. All right. What's your opinion on this idea that women don't say what they actually need, what they actually mean? Well, it's not that women in general, that all women move that way. it's more so that a common trait of the feminine is they more so express the state that they're in currently. There was a guy yesterday who was on a call, and he was going out with a woman, and they have been dating for 6 months. And he took her to a ball game, and he said that she was kind of in a mood when they went out. So they went to dinner, and then they were having a conversation, and she told him that that they were like casual or something like that. And when he heard that, he blocked her when he got home because he thought that she wasn't serious about him. And I told him she probably was saying that to like test how serious you were about her, considering y'all been dating for 6 months. Possibly that's why she was in a bad mood to begin with, right? You have to learn to differentiate signal from noise when you deal with women. Know when they're communicating directly and when they're more so communicating from a state, because a lot of times they're speaking from how they're feeling right now. And you got to kind of learn the sub-communication behind their words. Again, people, this is not matchmaking though. So if you're here for matchmaking, you're in the wrong place. Scram, skedaddle, all the above. You will not find a husband or wife here, okay? No boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, none of that's going on, right? That's not childish. It's how the feminine is oriented. A lot of men get upset with that because they want the woman who they're seeing to be more like a man would be. And there are women out there like that, but then when they find women like that, they complain about her being too masculine. So it's like, you got to pick and choose, brother. Which one do you want? Which one do you want? Which one do you want? All right, people, what kind of questions do we have? Also, if you're watching from Facebook or YouTube, I can see what you put in the chat. You can also drop your question as well, and I will answer it. How to get over a toxic ex? You have to, I heard somebody say, like, you got to pretend like they died, which is funny, but it's also true. Like, you have to remove all evidence that they existed from your life. So photos, text message chains, unfollow them on social media, block them if possible, have no recollection of their existence. Out of sight, out of mind. You stay in that state, you'll get over them. Just a matter of time. And if you can't get over them, then you're probably not busy enough. Like, an idle mind is a devil's playground. So if you don't really have a life, if you live in a way where your romantic partner was your entire life, yeah, it's going to be hard to get over them. There's nothing competing for that spot. Okay? How do you know that God has finally helped you move on from your ex so that you can confidently know to start dating again? Finally helped you move on from your ex, or that you can confidently know to start dating again? Well, you moved on from your ex because you're not so emotionally reactive to them anymore. The thought of them. Like when you first break up with someone, like you hear a song that reminds you of them. It's like puts you in a bad mood, right? You start grieving a little bit. You go to a place that y'all used to visit and now you're thinking about them. When that happens less, when you stop emotionally reacting to the thought of them or the reminder of them, that's a good signal that you're in a good enough place to start moving on. I personally feel like the dating pool is so messy right now. Yeah, that's 100% true. Why I keep choosing the wrong men? You might have to call in, love, because I'll have to unpack that with you. Yeah, I'll have to unpack that. Typically, because you don't choose what's best for you, you usually choose what's most familiar. So like if you grew up in chaos, your nervous system is used to chaos. So you probably are going to pick a partner who creates a chaotic environment, chaotic dynamic. Even if you consciously don't want that, you're used to it. We prefer a known hell over a unknown heaven. It's just how we're wired. So you have to kind of consciously not do that anymore. Uh, all right, let's bring my boy back up.
Yo, yo, just
What's up,
wanted
Chief?
to, this will be pretty quick. Something just kind of resonated with me with what you said, but want to start off saying Happy Father's Day to you, man. Appreciate everything you're doing.
Absolutely, thanks, man.
Besides that, something that actually resonated with me, this isn't a specific situation, but you were talking about when females in particular are in a disagreement or in a dispute, they kind of talk through their feeling. And I'm just wondering, I guess, I'm at a point now in like my healing journey where no matter who it's with, it could be friends, whatever, coworkers, I'm starting to actually set my boundaries and speak my piece.
Right.
And sometimes it gets to a point, and it is mostly in my relationship, but it gets to a point with people where there is some kickback, and it almost goes from me talking about my experience and my feelings to it getting overshadowed by their feelings. And I guess I'm just kind of wondering how I can work through that dynamic to kind of keep it about myself, but not disrespect the other person.
Wait, so rephrase that because I got kind of lost in the sauce there. Rephrase it. Simplify it for me.
So I guess I'll give you a little bit of an example. So I'll go to, let's just say my partner, because it's the easiest. And I'll say, hey, when A, B, and C happened, I didn't really feel too cool about that. I felt a little bit disrespected, or it kind of made me a little bit upset. Maybe I know why, maybe I don't know why. Just kind of wanted to bring it to your attention. And I'm the type of person, I don't even need an apology or anything. I just kind of want it to be out there in the open so this person understands. And I'm finding a lot of the time there's kickback to that, and they almost get aggressive or defensive, or they get in a state where their nervous system gets heightened and they feel attacked.
Mm-hmm.
So then I get attacked basing things off of what I said. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. And you're asking like how to avoid that?
Just kind of, I guess, well, not to avoid it because I can't control other people,
Right.
but how to work through that. Like for me personally, I'm at a point now where I'll just, like with my partner, it is the easiest, and she's at a point where she is getting better with it. She understands it's happening, and she'll come back to me. But I'll literally just go, hey, I can see this isn't going to go anywhere. I'm taking a step back, and I'm just going to chill for a bit. If we can talk about this later, cool. And I just don't know if that's the best step to take, because I almost feel like as an anxious attachment, or even just myself, whatever it is, I almost feel like I'm avoiding something. But part of me also feels like it's healthy to take that separation if I can feel it turning into an argument.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's like when you use your relationship as an example, you're doing your part, which is communicating something that you didn't like, like setting a boundary. But like you said, you can't really control how somebody responds to that. Some people are conflict avoidant. Some people will deflect. Some people will gaslight. Like you can't control that. And I also agree with the fact that like you don't divulge into an argument once you see that it's not a productive conversation. So the real solution would be to eliminate people out of your life who don't want to repair. Like I always say, like when you're meeting someone romantically, when you're trying to find a partner, right? There's a couple of things that you want to vet for. First thing is trust. Can you trust them? Second thing is, do you have a willingness to repair? Right? Do you have a willingness to repair? And I use willingness intentionally because I like to break things down into like a skill issue and will issue. Like I had a manager at a job, and he was basically explaining to me how they decide if whether or not they'll fire someone. And he says, we try to determine if someone is dropping the ball at the job. We try to determine if it's a skill issue or a will issue. If it's a skill issue, we can coach that. We can train them better. We can teach them how to do better. He said, but if it's a will issue, we got to let them go. So if you're dealing with someone who you're attempting to repair and you discern that it's a will issue, they just don't want to repair, It's not that they don't know how to communicate better or anything like that. It's that they are unwilling to. You have to remove them from your life. There's another frame that I like. You can't take this too far, but I think it's a very simplified way to like live life. And came from a mentor of mine, and he looks at every situation like this. He says, "Does this situation move me closer to heaven or closer to hell?"
Mm.
And he views every situation he's in from that perspective. Does this move me closer to heaven or closer to hell? Does your job move you closer to heaven or closer to hell? Does the person you decide to be with move you closer to heaven or closer to hell? Emphasis on closer, because it's not like the experience them is all heaven like, right? But just the full picture of them. Which side are they leaning on? Are you going closer to heaven or closer to hell? If it's closer to hell, rid it. Assuming you're doing your part and showing up intentionally and trying to work on yourself and develop, right? But moving you closer to hell, get rid of them. And someone who's unwilling to repair is a hellish experience.
Yeah, no, and I appreciate that. And I think that's the thing that I'm kind of on the line of real quick. And we don't have to get into this too much, but it's kind of, for me, the skill and the will and the heaven and hell thing kind of makes sense, because I am very much, like, I don't attack during my conflict. I will say, hey, I feel X, Y, and Z because of A, B, and C that happened. And that's kind of when a switch flips and it becomes about their feelings. But it is like a 24-hour turnaround normally, and they'll come back and they'll say, hey, like, I was kind of an asshole about that. I understand where you're coming from. And that's where the resolution happens. So it's almost like during the initial contact point, I feel like it's like, oh shit, this is going to hell. But then in that 24 hours time, I'm like, okay, well, shit, maybe it's actually going to heaven.
So what you're describing, I would say, is that sounds more like a skill issue.
Yeah, exactly.
So, well, we talked about your relationship, so I know y'all are working through things.
Exactly.
But yeah, if she's coming back and apologizing, yeah, I would say that's just someone who doesn't know how to handle being put on the spot like that, and they just get defensive. But she gets
100%.
defensive, and then she reflects on it, and then she comes back and apologizes. So your play should be just assume that's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
Just when you go
And
into
that's
the
what-
experience, just assume, okay, I'm going to go talk to her about this. She's going to be upset. So, but I know that after she's upset, she's going to reflect and then come back and apologize, and then hopefully change her behavior if it's something that is a reasonable expectation.
Yeah.
You know? So
No,
just-
and I
just what's
appreciate
gonna happen.
that. I appreciate that a lot. I'll let you know before I go here. I'm going to hop into the gym. My pre-workout's hitting now.
There we go.
Just some good news about it, just to keep you updated. She's actually seeing a fearful avoidant coach. So I think it's on the up and up there. But yeah, no, I appreciate you, man. Happy Father's Day.
Thanks,
I
bro.
hope everybody's having a great day out there. But I appreciate you, man.
My man, keep me posted, all right?
I will. Appreciate you.
All right.
Bye.
People, if you want more clarity on your dating and relationship situations, if you don't know whether to leave or stay, if you're very frustrated and you don't know what to do, or maybe there's a goal that you want to accomplish, maybe there's like someone you want to progress things with, you want to move things forward, but you don't really know how to do it, book a 1-hour coaching call. I'll give you the clarity that you're looking for and a simple brain dead action plan to get you what you want. All right. The way that you do that, this icon right here, hit that button below, shoot me a message. I'll ask you about your situation. If you're a good fit, I will shoot you a link where you can book your call. Okay. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, Facebook, just DM me the word coach. YouTube, comment the word coach on the live. Hello. You there, love? Miss Gina, going once, going twice. So, who else do we have? Let's bring my guy back up. Facebook, I'm gonna get to the comments like once these callers go through. We got kind of a lineup here. Hello. Sweet dirt bike, you there? Okay. Let's see what Honeybee talking about. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. What can I do for you?
Well, I've got just a quick question because I got to go to work soon. But I'm 60 and I've been divorced for about 8 years now, and I've been in and out of the dating scene because I live in a small town, and getting on these dating apps is like really irritating and aggravating at times. But I wanted to ask, when you meet someone and you go out and you have a good time, and then you end up having your relations, do you think that giving your 100% to that person on the first date is something you should do, or I'm really confused, because if you like me and you want to impress me by doing all that kind of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
then in my mind, I think I should give you 100% of my time. What do you think?
When you say doing all that stuff, what is that person doing?
Or no, when it gets to the intimate side, I guess.
Like sleeping with them.
Yes.
But you were talking about a first date.
The first time, yes. The first time you
the
sleep
first
with
time
them.
you sleep with someone. Okay.
Yeah. So you've met them, you've talked to them, you're attracted to them.
Right.
You meet all the other bosses, and
Hold on, you're kind of breaking up, honeybee.
intimate, and I'm sorry. You get to where you're intimate, and should you give them your 100% at that time?
What is your goal? A relationship?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
If it was just, I wouldn't give my 100% if it was just, a one-time thing.
Okay.
So,
And what does giving your 100% mean?
Well, to me, it means being you, we all are different, excuse me, in intimacy. Well, you know that. I know that. I'm 60. So if I'm giving you all of me,
Mm-hmm.
and then I get like 10% of you at that first time, should I keep going with the relationship or the friendship or whatever it is?
You still haven't described what 100% means.
I'm okay. 100% means being yourself, being what you like to do, being if you like romance, if you like to be romantic, if you like to kiss, if you like to foreplay. I'm talking about all the things that go with the sexual relationship. If you're looking for all of that,
So you're talking about giving 100% sexually?
yes.
Okay. See, that's why I'm glad we asked these questions, because I'm thinking 100%
I'm sorry.
means something completely
Because,
different.
yeah.
So you mean should you throw that ass in the circle every day and then do all the freak nasty stuff? Honeybee.
Well,
Honeybee.
like I said, just be
trying to get
you.
it
Like
in.
if you want.
Oh, you're sanitizing the language, but you just put a whole nother picture in my head, honeybee. You grabbing ankles. All right,
Well,
let's talk about it. So,
I'm trying to find out because
were you holding back the first time?
Huh?
Were you holding back the first time?
No, I try to be who I am and do what I like. I mean, why would I? This is my opinion. If I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it the right way the first time.
Right.
And if that's not good enough, then so be it. Go find somebody that.
But you weren't
It's
giving.
compatible.
But you weren't giving 100% the first time.
Yes, I always do.
Okay, you always do. There we go, honeybee. I like you. What about him? So
Yes.
you feel like he wasn't giving 100%?
Well, if he wasn't, then there's things that
You got to work on.
I guess there's things that I don't. Let's see. Let me put it.
Don't clean it up. Don't
There's
clean it up.
things
Hey,
that
speak your truth, honeybee. Spill the
Okay.
honey.
Well, I don't expect men to do everything that I want them to do, especially on the first date, whatever, first intimacy.
Right.
But if you're going to be compatible in life or in your relationship, sex is the number one thing. There's sex and then there's money. So if you're going to do it, like if you're going to impress me or love me or whatever, we're going to have to be very compatible in the bedroom and out.
Okay. All right.
See what I'm saying? If there's something missing, either you need to communicate and tell them what you want or what you need,
right,
or then you just need to find somebody else. But it's a give and take thing.
There we go. I'm with you.
You
Okay.
know, I could find a man that has $1 million, but if I'm not compatible with him, with his personality, with his looks, with his, intimacy, I don't want him.
Okay.
Oh, I'm making
So-
everybody laugh.
So, I mean, there's a couple of things here, right? So, like, the first time, like, usually guys want to pull out all the stops the first time because you're trying to impress them. But has it only been one time?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, what? One time in 8 years?
No, one time with this person.
Yes, one time.
Oh, I know you. This has been one time in 8 years. Hearing you talk.
Particular person.
I
Yes.
know it's not been one time in 8 years. All right. So,
No, he's not old.
if you could grade it,
I attract
hold
younger
on.
men.
If you
Let's
could,
get that straight for everybody.
if you
I attract
could,
younger men.
if you could grade it, what grade would you give him?
I would give him a 5
Out of what?
out of a 10.
5 out of, so average.
Huh?
So average.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
it wasn't anything that I would probably ask for seconds from.
Gotcha.
And I haven't heard from him since. So you know what?
How long ago was
It's
it?
no big deal. Huh?
How long ago was it? Did it happen?
About a month ago.
Oh, you're not hearing from him again. That was.
Oh no, I don't intend to. I'm not sitting here waiting.
Mm-mm.
Waiting for his text or call. But
Right.
he was 7 years young. Everybody wants to know how old he was. 7 years younger than me.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know if it's the age difference or
How'd you meet him?
online.
Okay. Yeah, but it was online. It wasn't the age difference. It's a meat market. So.
Oh, I understand what it is, but where else
okay.
can
All
you
right.
tell me where else can
All
I
right,
meet
honey.
somebody
All right, honey.
other than online and you live in a small town?
All right, honey.
Tell me where I can meet somebody or because I don't go out to drink anymore.
So
I don't go out to clubs.
are you looking for a relationship? So you're looking for like a
Yes.
relationship, right? Okay, we'll address that in a second. As far as like the sex thing,
Yes.
assuming he was still contacting you, I would say like try it one more time. Try it one more
Okay.
time because sometimes people could be nervous the first time, and you got to kind of learn each other's bodies. So at least like twice. All right. Now, in terms of where you can meet somebody, I always tell people to put themselves in static environments. So there's 2 ways to meet people organically: dynamic environments and static environments. Dynamic environments are places you go where every time you go, there's different people. So you go to a bar, a club, brunch, a restaurant. Those are dynamic environments. Nothing wrong with meeting people there. It's just harder to meet people there because if a connection is to form, it has to form right now because you're not going to see each other again. Okay? Static environments are the opposite. Those are environments where you go and every time you go, you see the same people over and over again. Now, the benefit of static environments is because you keep seeing them over and over again, you build familiarity with the person. That allows you to benefit from the mere exposure effect, which is a fancy way of saying the more times you engage somebody, increases the likelihood of you taking a fondness to them. Okay, you probably have experienced this before, maybe at work, maybe in
yeah.
school.
I have.
You know, you didn't like someone at first, and after a couple
Lots
of
of times.
conversations.
And should I be the first one to, I'm old school, but should I be, like if I see some guy in the grocery store
Mhm.
and, I start talking to him because I'm a very outgoing person.
Right.
should I ask? Should I be the first to ask
It's
something? Or
you don't. If you're going to do it, you have to do it in a feminine way. There's two approaches: there's a masculine approach and a feminine approach. The masculine
okay,
approach is going to be more direct. So if you are going to go to a man and tell him how handsome he is and ask for his number, you're metaphorically taking his panties off. You don't want to do that, right? You're playing the masculine position, and men kind of will slot you in one category that you probably don't want to be in if you take that approach. It kind of flips the polarity. The feminine approach is to do what I call the Hannah method. Hannah is one of my mods. She is in this live a lot, and she does this thing where she'll ask for help, right? She'll create an opening. The feminine way is to create an opening. If you remember, back in the day in the movies, women used to like drop their handkerchief and the man will come pick it up. She dropped it
right,
intentionally, right? So she's creating an opening. You're doing this when you're making eye contact. You're doing this when you're smiling and waving. You're creating an opening. You're signaling to the man that you are open to be approached. Now, you can also do that same thing by engaging them first, but it has to be indirect. So what Hannah does is she'll ask for help, which is a great way to do it because it automatically puts her in the feminine position because the feminine is partially oriented around receiving. It's receptive. And it puts the man in the masculine because now he has a problem to solve. So maybe she's at the grocery store and she's like short, she's 5 feet tall, and she may ask him to get something off the top shelf for her. So she's effectively creating an opening, but she's not being direct with her intent. Now, if he is interested, he'll keep the conversation going. He'll
okay,
move things forward. If he does not move things forward, she assumes that he's not interested. That will be the feminine way to approach. And it's like, I think more women have to lean into that nowadays because obviously a lot of men aren't approaching. And a lot of men aren't approaching because there's no need to approach, really. Because we have dating apps, social media. It's easier to connect romantically through those mediums. So,
mm-hmm.
like, when things are easier, why do things the hard way? If you could drive a car, why are you riding in a horse and buggy? It's like a lot of
Exactly.
women
And
can.
I got one more. I have one more question. I'm
Go
sorry, I
ahead. Go
didn't
ahead.
mean
You're
to
fine.
cut you
You're
off,
fine.
but
Go ahead.
this is another not twist, but another thing. I am attracted to African American men. Okay,
Mm,
so here's the thing.
okay.
I was married 30 years to uh, two white men,
Okay.
and I am attracted. I found out that I'm attracted to black men.
Okay.
So some black men are very white men are the same way, but they're very cautious when if I go up to them and say something to them, they're like, what does she really want?
Mm.
Because you know how it is these days. But I don't. It's very, very hard for me
What do
to.
you say to them when you approach them?
I just carry on a conversation. A normal conversation.
Okay.
About whatever we're talking. Like if I go by some guy and he's working in the store, and I'll say, "How?" I said, "You smell good." That, or something like that. I'll give him a compliment, and if they say thank you and that's it, I'll go on about my business. I'm not going to chase anybody.
Right. That's the right thing to do. I mean, but
Yeah.
just like what question do you have there?
How do I go about? I guess I didn't have a question. It's
Okay.
just
You just wanted to
I
share
was
it?
just saying that it's still tough out there for me. So I
Yeah.
was gonna see if I can get some advice. Is all from all these youngsters that are in your chat,
Right.
and
Right.
I know you're young as well.
Uh-huh.
But I don't. No, I wasn't dying. I'm not dying to put the fact that I like to be in a interracial relationship.
Okay.
I'm just saying that I like what I like.
Right.
I'm attracted to what I'm attracted to. I have my stature, my body is, that's what I attract. them, and I want to be attracted. I want them to attract me,
Okay.
or I want to be attracted to them, and to for them to be attracted to me.
Yeah.
as
So
well.
so
I
put
don't know what I'm saying.
yeah, put yourself in those static environments, like I said, and that's going to help you out a lot because you have more touch points with these people where conversations can naturally unfold instead of putting so much pressure on the moment you see them. Okay.
Yes, sir. I
All right,
do
love.
appreciate your time, and I have learned.
Okay.
The bottom line is to give them a better chance on the second time, and then after that,
Yeah, when you go to static environments, I wouldn't even like. Don't be like, okay, where the black man at? I wouldn't. Don't
no,
do
no,
that.
no, no. I'm
But
not. Mm-mm. I'm
but
not thirsty.
when
Believe
you
me.
when you put yourself in these static environments, you have to um, engage with everyone. So just go and
Right.
just spread positive vibes.
Absolutely.
Okay,
I'm
you
a
spread.
very positive person.
Okay, I got you, honeybee. But
Yes, sir.
you go out, you spread positive vibes, and then you just see who kind of flocks to you, and then you choose from there. Okay. So I wish you the best, though, love.
Thank you.
All right.
I'll be seeing you again. I'll try it again.
All right, love. You
I
take
do
care.
appreciate it.
Uh huh. All right. All right. That conversation evolved. We went to a whole nother place. Hmm. All right. Shorty says she like her some black men. Throwing that ass all around town. Go ahead, honeybee. She said, who wants some honey? Okay. Who else do we got? Hello.
Marquette,
What's going on, man?
how you doing? Yeah, so I just randomly came across this chat on my feed, and let me say first, just quality content within the 5 minutes I've been listening.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, it's the first guy that was talking before her. Coincidentally, I was kind of going through the same shit, or excuse me, same stuff. And I saw a video, I believe it was you, about anxious attachment style,
Right.
right? And I guess I'm having this tug of war in my mind, I guess. I don't know how to put it. Where I know I'm a good-looking dude. I got a decent job, I make decent money, I own a house, right? And this last relationship that I just got out of, initially, I was very secure, you know what I mean? Like, when you go out with a good-looking woman, dudes are going to try to fucking talk to her. Excuse my language again, sorry. You know what I mean? You got to expect that,
Right.
But, when does it bleed into insecurity when it's just actually your standards of like, hey, you know what I mean? Watch out, how do I say this? I don't know, I guess I was expecting her to do stuff without communicating my boundaries.
You were expecting her to just naturally not do things without you having to verbally
Yes, and we
share
had
your
this
boundaries?
conversation like 3 days ago where we finally, the relationship just ended, yesterday.
Okay.
And we, 4 days ago, we actually had a conversation about finally setting boundaries. And during the conversation, we're like, holy fuck, why didn't we do this, earlier? Because it's just, I don't know, it was just an instant clarification of, okay, these are my boundaries, these are your boundaries. And again, I guess it stems to, this anxious attachment style. I don't know where it comes from. I'm a big believer in, childhood upbringing and, experiences that you experience during childhood and all through your adolescence and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Why do I have this anxious attachment style where perhaps I feel like it does become avoidant eventually, if that makes any sense.
Why do you say that?
Because because when I get anxious and I sense signs or like I see things that are inconsistent, then I push away.
Okay.
And then she senses it, and I'm still struggling to communicate things because it's like I'm a half and half. I'm like, okay, I'm a man, I gotta be stoic. I don't want to be too vulnerable, but at the same time, I gotta fucking speak up.
Is this someone you're in a relationship with?
It just ended yesterday.
Why did it end?
You want the honest truth?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't put enough value in the red flags that I saw early on in a relationship.
What red flag?
I thought I can, because last couple of years I've become a very good listener. I would say, like, that's my feedback I get from people. Like, I love talking to people, and this is also someone who's had a lot of trauma with toxic men, and I would consider myself, try not to sound too conceited, on the opposite end of that, and almost seeking or trying hard to like help her heal. And she helped me uncover that most of the time I've been seeking worthiness this whole time, which is not rooted to improve her, it's to improve my mindset. If that makes any sense. So I'm just getting into the past couple of years, this emotional intelligence aspect. I'm really not big into diagnosis of these words. I think you need to acknowledge them, but you can't really delve too deep into them because it just creates too big of a belief where now it becomes like a victim mentality.
Right.
So I don't know, where does my anxious attachment style come from? My mother gasses me the hell up with her words of affirmation. You know what I mean? Oh, my baby boy is so handsome. Look at my boy. I mean, I eventually came to acknowledge that, wow, man, if I'm not getting these words of affirmation from my significant other, not that amount, because it's impossible to hit that amount, and it's the inconsistency that spikes my anxious attachment.
Okay.
So where's this? I feel like I only experience anxiety in my life when I'm in a relationship. This is also my second relationship in about 10 years. I'm 35 years old.
Okay. Second relationship in 10 years, 35 years old. How long were you with her?
7 months. Very short.
How did you meet her?
So I used to go to this gym 8 years ago, and I remember her from during that time. And then, probably about a year ago, I seen her at a bar, and then in December of 2025, I saw her again, and I was like, oh shit, that's her. And I just went up to her and tapped her on the shoulder and said, hey, you remember me? And then we started talking.
Okay. And what did she do to make you leave the relationship? Specifically, behaviorally, what did she do?
Not be upfront as I would. I guess that's kind of selfish, but if you know the truth, it should be easily.
The truth about what? Be specific.
Let's see here. There's a couple instances where we had dudes that were connected to her best friend's boyfriend. I walk away to get a drink at the bar, and then these two chicks say, oh, is that your girl over there? She's dancing with him. I'm like, all right, whatever. But it's how they describe dancing with her. It's I hate being disrespected. You know what I mean? I fucking, excuse my language again. I hate being, especially in public settings. I hate it. But anywhere, disrespect, it kills me.
Okay. So then you broke up with her because of that?
All right, I'm gonna try to be as truthful as I can because this is the first time I came out here. All right. She had like a past of OnlyFans shit. Yeah, I know, right? I know, bro. I know. But I'm like, you know what? I've gotten to a point in my life where I value dialogue more than having sex. You know what I mean? I don't really. In my 20s, yeah, I'm thirsty. I want to, get laid and shit. But now I'm like, okay, I've had sex with enough women where it's like, you know what? Let me have dialogue, and wherever it goes, it goes. So I start talking. We start first night. We went back to her place, and we just start bullshitting and talking about life. You know what I mean? And just kind of venting. But she's doing most of it. But I invite that because a lot of people, I feel like, don't have platforms or opportunities to talk about what's going on in their life. Mm-hmm. And for some reason, I like giving people that opportunity, but I don't give myself that opportunity. So I formed a connection with this chick. Yeah, that is ADHD. I formed a connection with this with her, and there's just too many inconsistencies. Like, she would be her inner child during the week, and then during the weekend, she'd be like a different person.
Right.
But I don't know. It's like how much is that anxious attachment style? You know what I mean?
Anxious attachment isn't just your only problem here. Poor judgment also factors in.
Okay.
You're dating someone, taking someone seriously who did OF. That's not to say that you can't do that, but you would have to really be.
I mean, let's be real. I don't mean to cut you off. Let's be real, man to man.
You have to really be. No, there's people who, you got to really. That's going to be just off a tangent. That's going to be a lot more bigger as time goes on. And people need money and stuff like that. So it's going to be a bit more doing OnlyFans excuse me, I can't say it on TikTok. Doing OF is definitely something I wouldn't tolerate.
No,
but I can also acknowledge that it's going to continue to be popular as people need more money, and it's not exactly the same thing as corn, depending on what the person is doing. There's people on OF selling feet pics, right? So nuance is required. Now, with that being said, though, just poor judgment, poor person to pick. So that's just a judgment call. So you got to address that. You got to call a spade, right? So it's like, why even entertain someone like that? You could have got her story and had a dialogue with her in one conversation and moved on. Okay. So you got to address that part. So you have to vet. I talk to guys, man, who are complaining, there's no good women out here. It is a challenge to find a few. But when I unpack how they're finding women, it's like, oh, I met her at the club.
Yeah.
Or I got this chick who was clearly posting thirst traps on social media, trying to get attention from other men, right? It's like, well, yeah, don't date those. You're dating those, and then you're making it. You're creating the worldview that all women are that, and it's like, no, those are the ones you're choosing. Don't choose those, right? So judgment is going to be the first part of that. Anxious attachment comes into play when it's like you're trying to earn love.
Okay.
So you were in that relationship trying to help heal her from her traumas and all this kind of. That ain't your job.
Yeah, dude, the trauma, anything. It's like, oh, it's because of my trauma. I'm like, yo, all right, when are we gonna stop bringing up trauma? But at the same time, I gotta respect that,
Yeah, that's not your job. But that's the thing with anxiously attached people. They feel like love has to be earned. and that causes them to
Yeah.
unconsciously choose people who make them earn it.
That's the video I think I just saw of you. The same video. Love has to be earned.
Right. So like if somebody was to freely give it to you, you probably wouldn't trust it. So I don't think that you necessarily were avoidant. Like we haven't really gotten down into your history. We don't have the time for that because I got a line building up. But
Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
like some anxious people, if they feel like they've done all they could, they can deactivate. By that I mean like create distance.
Yeah,
You know, that doesn't mean that you're avoiding. It just means that you're deactivating, right?
gotcha.
You don't have any fear of intimacy or anything like that. An avoidant has a fear of like intimacy, losing their independence. That's not what your fear was. The inner motivation will tell you what the attachment style is. So like your inner motivation wasn't like, okay, I can't get close to this person, I can't lose my independence. It was more so, you are not showing up the way I know how this story ends because I'm 35 and I've been here before. So I'm just going to go ahead and create distance, right? I'm going to detach from you.
I mean, it's to be honest, it's all my fault. You know what I mean? It kind of, I would say in a selfish way, because I knew when I was dating,
Right.
and I didn't try to mold her into something, but you can definitely look at it from that aspect by like trying to help her with healing. But I knew what I was getting into, so at the
Right.
end of-
You
at the end of the day,
can't make someone heal. You can create the conditions for healing to more likely to occur. Like loving somebody properly can help facilitate healing, but you can't heal them. You can just kind of create the conditions for if it is to happen, it's easier for it to happen in this context.
Yes.
Right? But you can't take on that burden, that responsibility of healing someone else because ultimately that is their
that's the thing.
responsibility. So that will be the thing to work on, Chief. Your other question was, where does anxious attachment come from? It typically comes from you being in a childhood where you weren't like properly attuned to. Things were kind of like hot and cold. You know, maybe your mother like attuned to you and gave you attention at one point, and then at other point she was like distracted, or maybe it was like a chaotic household where you had to constantly
Distracted.
you had to read the vibe. You had to constantly read the
So
vibe.
can we suggest that because you watch TV a lot? I mean, is that
It's possible. Like if your needs weren't being met because she was distracted doing other things, or the environment was very chaotic and you had to constantly read the room to see if this was a good time, right?
I feel like I have the most loving parents that someone can have, but they have a bad relationship. They're still married, but they have a bad relationship.
Right. So if there's like a lot of fights, if it's like sometimes things are good and you come home and there's like a shouting
Yeah.
match,
Yep.
it's like you got to kind of, before fighting happens, it's like you can kind of read the signs it's about to happen.
Okay.
Right. So it's like, okay, so that would be more like a chaotic environment where you had to read the room to see
Yes.
what was about to happen, and that create a hypervigilance to where now you are always reading the room. So there's also a genetic component. Like some people are saying you don't even need, like the newest studies suggest that you don't even need to be in an environment like that. There's really a genetic component to certain attachment styles where even if you did have the most loving household, you'll still come out that way. So whatever the case, it's just something to work on in this situation. I don't even see your anxious attachment as being the biggest problem in the situation you just described. That was just a judgment call.
Judgment. Okay. All right. I'll look into that and appreciate your time, dude.
No problem,
I
brother.
really appreciate it. Thank you. Have a good day. Happy
Take care.
Father's Day.
Appreciate you, bro. All right, people, again, if you're struggling with your attachment style, if you're struggling with your dating life, romantic life, you want clarity over your situation, should I leave, should I stay, what can I do in this situation to kind of get the outcome I'm looking for, you should book a 1-hour coaching call. You can do that by looking at this icon right here, hitting the button that looks like it below, shoot me a message. I'll ask you about your situation. If you're approved, I will send you a link to book your call, okay? Let's see who else we have. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. What's up, Cass? What can I do for you?
Honestly, I was really just listening to other people, so you can really like have someone else.
Okay, no problem, love. Take care.
Optimism for the future. I didn't mean to
You
join.
didn't mean to? Okay, I figured not.
I'm over here getting ready for the gym, and I'm listening. And somehow I hit something.
That's all good, love. I got you. I'm gonna take you down. let's see who else we got. Who else do we have? Hello. Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
Great. So, in my situation,
Mm-hmm.
it started off as something where we went into the relationship with intention, dating with the intention of getting into a relationship, right?
Right.
And then it got to the point where there was obvious disrespect on his part, and after apologies,
Let's wait for her to come back. All right. A couple more seconds. I gotta drop the call. All right. Come back, love, when your connection improves. You gotta get off Boost Mobile, man. Boost Mobile not gonna do it. Let me see. Again, people, if you have a question or a problem pertaining to dating and relationships, you can hit the button at the bottom of the screen with the blue and pink person, request up, and I will solve your issue. All right? Don't be shy. You can request up. We're all friendly here. We're all friendly here. You can also drop your question in the chat and I will answer it there. I know we had a few on Facebook. The last one, what advice would you give someone who has built a meaningful life alone and no longer needs a relationship but still desires one? What advice would you give someone who has built a meaningful life alone and no, okay, you just repeated it. Try to get into a relationship. You know, like if you want a relationship, you have building a meaningful life and no longer needing one. It's not important here. It's like, do you want a relationship? Get a relationship. Try to meet people. At what point does protecting your peace become avoiding intimacy? When you think that anything that makes you uncomfortable is a sign that you shouldn't deal with the person. That's like a big problem we have in society right now, relationally, is people think that if something makes them uncomfortable or creates discomfort, it means that something is wrong. But getting close to someone, building a life with them can be scary. It could be an uncomfortable experience. It's out of your comfort zone. But if you feel that discomfort and you immediately take that to mean that this person is wrong for you, then you are going to live a life alone. That's a feature, not a bug. It's a feature of connecting with somebody. CJ, I didn't know you were here, bro. Sharina, come on up, love. I'm an anxious girl and I feel like I keep attracting avoidance. What am I missing? You're not attracting avoidance. You're probably choosing avoidance. Because you're probably choosing people based off of like feeling anxiety. They do something that makes you feel anxious and then you like kind of chase them. That's if you're actually like being with an avoidant person. You're not just calling them avoidant. Some people call people avoidant because they like don't want to talk to them or they don't want to be with them. And it's like, that's not how that works. You'll only see an avoidant become an avoidant when like you are emotionally significant to them. If you went on 1 or 2 dates and the person ghosted you, that does not mean they're avoidant. The way avoidance work is, oh, I really like this person and now I'm freaked out. That's avoidant. Not, I ghosted you after date 3. That's not it. Yeah, that just means you got ghosted. But people can accept that maybe there's something undesirable about them. So they're like, oh, you must be avoidant. And it's like, nah, you're oversimplifying it, love. That's not it. That's not it at all.
Hello,
What's going on, Divine? How are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you doing today?
Great, love. What can I do for you?
Well, I am curious what advice you would give someone who is really nervous about getting into a relationship, asking for a friend. I am really nervous about, well, yeah, getting with someone and then in like 30 years, them just realizing that they don't want to be with you anymore. And then you have built everything up with them and they don't want to be with you anymore. They just wake up one day and realize they don't like you. Like, what would you do?
What's the alternative to that? To be alone?
I guess that's a good question. It depends on the person and how fast they want to move on. Do you think after 30 years you should just go find someone else?
No, I mean, like, if that is a fear that's holding you back from dating at all, the only alternative is to be by yourself.
So then okay, thanks.
Right? It's like, well, what I'm saying is, when you frame it that way, it's like, well, do you want to be by yourself? Probably not, right? It's probably why you want a relationship. So it's like a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. One path is guaranteed. If you don't date anyone, then you're going to be by yourself. The other path is a possibility. It's not guaranteed.
Yeah, but how can you set yourself up for a life knowing both situations?
What do you mean?
Like, how do you maneuver knowing that you could be single regardless if you get in a relationship because they'll just get bored of you or whatever, or just stay single and just be yourself and like work for yourself and love yourself?
If somebody was truly the type of person who could be single like that and love themselves, they wouldn't even have this question. Having this question means that your preferred outcome is to be in a relationship.
Well,
It's
I
just
think that's everyone's preferred outcome, right? We're
no.
social
I don't
beings.
think I don't think that's everyone's preferred. Some people really are like they can be by themselves for real. Some people are really like that. They're more rare. A lot of people claim to be that way. To your point, it's a more rare thing, but it is 100% true. That doesn't mean they don't have any social connections. You can be a social being without being married or in a relationship. You have friends, family, right?
Yeah, but doesn't
Casual
society
connections.
look down on those people saying that they're like, oh, they can't get it or they don't want
But
to or
that's
there's something wrong with them if they don't want to have
right. But
sex?
that's not even an important point to make. Like, yeah, true, but that doesn't really connect to what we're talking about. So, um,
Well, it kind of does actually. Being an incel or not is like to make the choice to want to spend your time and give your body to somebody else.
yeah, that's I'm not seeing how that connects to the question, the original question that you asked.
Because the fear of sharing your body is what will keep you single, but also it will protect you in ways too.
Okay, I still don't follow love, but is that the fear that you have? The fear of sharing your body?
I'm speaking for a friend.
Is that the fear your friend has, sharing her body?
I don't really know.
Okay, all right. You're kind of losing me, Devon. I gotta be honest with you. You're losing the chat too.
Okay.
We're all confused.
Well,
So,
I appreciate you. Thank you.
all right, take care, love. I don't know, bro. Started good. Started good, Divine. Don't know where we're headed with that one though. Kind of spacey. Kind of spacey. We got to probably lay off the shrooms, huh? But if we're talking about like if someone's just going to leave you, okay, well then let's just extend that. You could get in a car accident when you drive to work today. Can't live in these what if scenarios. At the end of the day, people are going to leave you, whether they decide to or not, because people die. The story has to end. You're going to have to say goodbye to yourself one day when you die, right? There's no permanence with anything in this life. So you have to accept that. part of loving requires you to have a willingness to be hurt. You have to have a willingness to be hurt. Some people can't take that shit. They can't take it. Some people can. You know? But if you are unwilling to be hurt, you're not going to be able to be in a relationship. What's the quote? It's like loving someone is giving them the power. Loving someone is handing them your heart and then trusting that they won't like destroy it or something like that. But it's like you're giving them the power to destroy you though. And you're hoping for the best. That's heavy sometimes, right? Unless you focus so much on it, you make it a reality. That's also true. That's also true. Yeah, people are going to leave you, man. Like, by that logic, why do anything? Why have a child? The child could be born with a disease. The child could die, right? It's like catastrophizing, exactly. Like you can't, that's not a good place to come from when you're making decisions. Not a good place to come from. But there's also like the importance of vetting and things of that nature. Like vet people. Yeah, you can vet perfectly and then still end up with someone who hurts you in that way. But most people don't vet at all. They just go with their feelings. And they end up choosing someone that any rational person would have told you is a bad fit. So 30 years is still a good run? Right. 30 years is still a good run. I agree with you. But it's about the experience of it, though. It's about, you don't go to a restaurant to eat a good meal mourning the fact that the meal will be over. You go to enjoy the experience. What was that? So the connection is like you're enjoying the experience of the person because it enriches your life and you learn lessons and you learn more about yourself in the meantime. I think being unaware of possible pain doesn't make you a better lover, makes you a naive one. I think being unaware of possible pain doesn't make you a better lover, it makes you a naive one. Okay. I got you. Hello.
How are you?
Great, how are you?
I'm all thanks. Okay, so I recently walked away from my 7-year relationship, which also had pretty much an engagement, which was overdue, but the relationship was no longer saving me. That's what I got to a realization of. However, because I stayed for long enough in this relationship, I kind of overstayed my welcome. And I was just kind of keeping up with everything that was happening to the point that now that I'm back to be myself again, I don't know how to date again. I don't know how to be myself again. Like I shrink myself so much to accommodate this relationship and to make it work and to make it happen to the point that I no longer know how to not do that. So at this point, I want to try to get back and I want to try to, see my value again. But it's so difficult because every time I tend to listen to what the other person is saying and I kind of also find myself shrinking back to, the same thing that I used to do, which kind of killed me in the previous relationship. So I kind of don't know how to be normal again, at least. How can I get back to be the person that I was Well, maybe I might not, but like, how can I get to move on from this point?
So I missed something there. What were you doing before that you're trying to get out back to, or what are you doing now that you're trying to avoid doing?
So, well, in my previous relationship, I got to a point where I'm a very ambitious person, right? So I got to a point where, because the other person was feeling intimidated by me being super ambitious and, being all this, wanting to go further and stuff like that, I started not doing it. And now I don't know how to get back to doing what I wanted to do or what I loved to do. Like, I've forgotten to do it anymore because I stayed for so long just living and surviving so that I don't get to make the other person feel intimidated.
Okay. How long were you with that person?
Seven.
7 years?
Yeah.
Okay, and you were ambitious in what way? Like, what were you doing to express your ambition?
Okay, so I love upgrading myself when it comes to schooling, right? When it comes to just doing things like, just taking some personal development courses, just learning a business skill, just doing things that puts me up, right? Even reading books, I do that just to gain knowledge, just to know more, so because you'll be doing that and you'll be, getting these certificates and you get your masters and you're like, oh yeah, now I want to do my PhD. Because the other person did not have the same ambition and stuff, they'll be like, no, I feel like that's too much. So I started not doing anything in terms of my self-development, in terms of anything that I used to like, and it got to a halt completely. And now that I got to a point where I say to myself, no, I can't keep on doing this. I don't know how to find myself back again and, pick myself back, because I don't even know when exactly I lost myself. So it's really so tough, and I think I don't even have a roadmap of where I'm supposed to, where to start from.
When you were doing those things, what was your goal?
Of development.
Okay. So your goal was of development. You wanted to learn, just to develop yourself. So you would read books and take courses and get certifications and degrees. And you don't do any of that anymore? Hello?
I lost the zeal. Like, I lost it somewhere. I don't know where, but yeah. I'm no longer as motivated as I was, because I had to stop at one point so that I just don't get to feel the person that I was with uncomfortable.
Yeah, the problem is you're relying on motivation instead of discipline. So if you like doing it, you just kind of like act as if you do like doing it again. And then take it slow, stair step it, progressive overload. Like if you're in the gym, you every time you go to the gym, you try to lift a little heavier weight, right? Then you get stronger over time. So you're waiting for motivation. You've not done it so long, so the motivation never activates, and you're looking at that as a signal to not do it at all. Solution: do it anyway, but do take a baby step in that direction. So maybe today you read one page of a nonfiction book on personal development. And tomorrow you read 2. Then when you're reading that book, you may have an insight that applies to your life, that develops you. You get that hit of dopamine, and slowly that motivation starts back up. You're essentially like a bedridden patient who's trying to walk again, but your muscles have atrophied so much that like you can't walk. So you gotta go to physical therapy, get the muscles back. Right? This is physical therapy. This is self-development therapy. Like, start small, even without the motivation, and then keep doing that until the motivation comes back.
Got it.
All right, love. Well, best luck to you, all right?
Thank you.
All right. Who's deconditioned? What do you mean? You're referring to like the sound in the background of her video? I left an engagement of 8 years. He used to be jealous of my success, and when I left, I only blamed myself. That's rough. All right, what other kind of last minute questions do we have? Last minute questions. Cut it early today. Oh, Dallas. Remember, people, we're going to Dallas as a group August 14th through the 17th. Me and the Miles are getting together. We got like a real nice Airbnb there. We have a couple of open slots for people in the chat to join. But to join, you must be following Danny. And you must send Danny a DM. Right? And he will send you a form to fill out so you can enter the raffle. If you've been a client of mine, you get 3 additional entries into the raffle. If you purchase the implementation package, I'm talking to you, Twitch, the implementation package, you get another 3 entries. So you can get a total of 7. So again, if you would like to join us on the Dallas trip, August 14th through the 17th, okay? Not everyone will have advice for your situation. That's true. But why are we bringing that up? Love. Yeah, Twitch gotta keep you gotta keep it top of mind, baby. Gotta keep it top of mind. The key word today is betting. Betting is incredibly important. Danny's gonna come up and do another pitch.
Hey, how's it going? Figured I'd pop up real quick so you guys don't have to look for me in the chat. But yeah, the mods and I are getting together for a trip. We're going to meet with Marquette and enjoy a weekend in Dallas on August 14th to August 17th. On Sunday, we're also doing a get-together in Dallas. So if you're local to the area, you can just meet up with us. But we have a few spots in the Airbnb I got planned for us. And we're going to announce who can join us next Saturday. So shoot me a DM. I'll send you a form to fill out and you'll be a part of the raffle and we'll go from there. But yeah, y'all got a week, so lock in, get that form filled out.
That's right. Appreciate you, D Money.
Yeah, that's all I got. I got a coaching call here in a minute, so
All right, bro. Talk soon.
talk soon.
Looking forward to Dallas, man. Danny been working, love the video. Danny's doing his damn thing with the videos. How do you learn to build intimacy over time with and consistently with a fearful avoidant? In your situation, Twitch, you're not the bottleneck. You're not the person holding that back. I think with you, building intimacy is kind of the default of the connection. So when I mean by bottleneck, this is a great way. This is how I solve all my clients' problems, right? I always look at what their bottleneck is. What's actually stopping them and preventing them from getting what they want. So if you look at like an hourglass with like sand in it, sand's at the top and it's dropping to the bottom, right? The middle point that slows the sand down is the bottleneck. It's like, okay, with this sand, all of it could drop at once, but there's something stopping the slowing down the process, and it's this midpoint, it's the bottleneck, right? So in your relationship, intimacy is the sand in that analogy, but the person or the thing stopping all of the sand from falling is her fearful avoidant attachment. She's slowing down the process of the sand falling. So your relationship will improve in intimacy as she improves on navigating and managing her fearful avoidance, which it sounds like she's doing. So that's not on you. I think part of even asking that question kind of almost falls into overfunctioning. Like you've done everything you're supposed to do in this connection. There's no more work required of you. That energy should focus on you building up yourself at this point. Let her do that work. Hopefully she continues it. And then it's on her now to improve the connection. Can't wait to see a recap of it. Oh, we're going to live stream that thing. We're going to live stream that. Best believe it. Best believe it. So yeah, that's the hard thing about anxiously attached people, is like letting them know, like, oh, the other person is also supposed to try. They also are responsible for the relational health. It's like, yeah, they have a responsibility as well. You can't control. You can't like put the whole relationship on your back. You trying to be LeBron James, baby? Put the whole team on your back. Nah, there's other players. There's other players. There's 2 superstars here, right? All right, again, last minute questions. Also, if you want your 1-hour coaching call so I can find your bottleneck in your situation, give you the clarity you're looking for, and solve any kind of dating and relationship problem you have, solutions guaranteed. This icon right here, hit that button below, shoot me a message. I'll ask you about your situation. If you're approved, I will send you a link to book your 1-hour coaching call, okay? All right. Speaking of calls, I have calls coming up. I gotta go. If you're new here, make sure to follow. I go live multiple times per day. Won't be live tonight, but tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening I will be live. So if you like this conversation, make sure to follow and tune in. If you ever miss one, I stream these on YouTube. Link in bio for that. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Check out some of the older installments. And all the fathers in the chat, happy Father's Day. Enjoy your day. Appreciate the mods, appreciate the chat. I'll see y'all later. Y'all take care.